May 2010, a day after the prophecy was given, breaking news hit international headlines that Gordon Brown publicly announced that he would resign as leader of the Labour Party and Prime Minister of Great Britain. News reported that Gordon Brown was under pressure to bow to the inevitable and accept publicly that his days as both Prime Minister and Labour leader were numbered. Labour's Gordon Brown resigned as UK Prime Minister after 3 years in office. Mr. Brown officially tendered his resignation to the Queen at Buckingham Palace, with Conservative leader David Cameron succeeding him. Queen Elizabeth II named Cameron Prime Minister Tuesday night, shortly after Brown resigned. Brown had said on Monday that he would step down as leader of his party by autumn, but he changed course Tuesday, announcing he was quitting his post immediately. Mr. Brown said he had taken the decision to resign after concluding that he would not be able to form a government after days of talks between the parties. In an emotional farewell speech outside Number 10, Mr. Brown said he had loved the job and it had been a privilege to serve. Brown's resignation followed Thursday's general election, in which no party won an overall majority, but the Conservatives won the most seats and votes. Both Labour and the Conservatives have since been trying to persuade the Liberal Democrats to join them in a coalition government to run the country. Mr. Brown had previously said he would resign as Labour leader, but stay on as Prime Minister until September, if Labour could agree a deal with the Liberal Democrats. But after this possibility ended, Mr. Brown decided he could not form a government and should stand down. Truly, pressure had mounted on the leader concerned, just as Prophet T.B. Joshua had said.
I'm seeing a leader resign because of pressure mounted on him. Pray for him, Prime Minister of a country. What is going to happen to this Prime Minister? I was praying that the Lord should put more light. Let the will of God be done.
Gordon Brown was under pressure from his most senior cabinet colleagues to step down voluntarily. The idea of Brown staying any longer is just impossible, said one ministerial aide. Labour MPs Graham Stringer, Kate Hoey and Malcolm Wicks on Sunday joined John Mann in calling for Mr. Brown to resign. Brown was also under pressure from the public to resign. Reports stated that if the Prime Minister were to refuse to relinquish his position, there would be public anger because of the poll defeat. The day after the prophecy was given, the Telegraph carried the headline, "Hung Parliament, Gordon Brown under pressure to stand down as Prime Minister," and stated that Gordon Brown was coming under increasing pressure from his own party to stand down as Prime Minister and act in a dignified way to ensure the party can regroup in opposition.
Pray for him, Prime Minister of a country. What is going to happen to this Prime Minister? I was praying that the Lord should put more light. Let the will of God be done.
The same day that Gordon Brown resigned as Prime Minister of Great Britain, David Cameron was appointed as the new British Prime Minister, as Britain said farewell to 13 years of Labour rule. They welcomed 43-year-old David Cameron as the new leader of the nation, the youngest in almost 200 years, who vowed to form a coalition with the Liberal Democrat Party, led by Nick Clegg. We at Emmanuel TV and the Synagogue Church of All Nations thank God for the smooth democratic transition and the peaceful formation of a new coalition government in Britain. We pray for the nation of the United Kingdom and its new government, that God would be their guide, and for the new leader, David Cameron, that God would grant him wisdom and largeness of heart to govern his nation in integrity, uprightness, and in the fear of the Lord. To witness the power of prophecy on the national and international level, Join us every Sunday for our live service on Emmanuel TV at 9 a.m. West Africa time, 10 a.m. Central Africa time, 3 p.m. Indochina time, 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, 12 a.m. Pacific time, and 3 a.m. USA Eastern Standard Time. This is Annette reporting for Emmanuel TV. And remember, God is still saying something.